Hola amigos, en el episodio de hoy os traigo pues lo que va a ser la comida del futuro, que ya hemos hecho algún capítulo de esto, pero se va innovando cada vez más. Vamos a verlo.
First of all, we are farming the insects themselves, so we take the eggs and we convert them back into adult flies, which make and lay more eggs in this specialist condition. So this is fully indoors, artificial breeding, allowing us to do it here in the UK or anywhere on the planet. So in this room, we have around 200,000 insects at different life stages, all the way from eggs through to adults again, and back to eggs, with the 1% repopulating the cages. These larvae are a couple of days old, so we're looking at 3 to 4 days old. There's probably around 10 to 20,000 larvae in there. 8 days later, we're looking close to an inch. The rest of the larvae we then use to eat food waste, so we're using brewery grains, potato waste, coffee waste to feed the insects, and within a 6 to 8 day period they consume all of that food, convert it into soil, a fertilizer, and then we have nice large larvae which we can process into a protein flour that can be used for different markets. So this is what's called the frass. This is essentially the leftover from what the larvae eat. So 10 days ago, this was beer grains, potato waste and coffee, and now it's a very usable, completely smell-free fertilizer. We're using black soldier fly larvae as the protein source. It is the fastest converter of food waste back into protein. The reason we're using black soldier fly is not just because of that, it's also because it's non-disease. The adults don't have a mouth. Just last summer, the regulations opened to allow this to be used in aquaculture, so salmon farming for example, and next year we'll be allowing for chickens. And the best thing is that insects are just the natural food for animals. How do you catch a fish? You put an insect on the end of the hook. The chickens are free range, they're always running around the field eating insects because that is the way that nature feeds animals. It's simple. This room, which is around 4 meters cubed, will eventually be able to produce about a ton of protein per day. So each of these, again, has specialist age larvae. So we can do this in 6 to 8 days, all day, every day, 365 days a year in any environmental condition. The ability to produce this in such small areas is the fundamentally important part, as well as producing it like hyper-locally. The engineers of today are the farmers of tomorrow. The way that we produce food now is so inefficient, it's so environmentally damaging that we need a complete revolution within this whole space. This is where our real IP and our magic happens. This is the first fully automated insect protein breeding room in the world. So this entire device automatically will feed each chamber with exactly the right population at exactly the right time, and then move on to the next chamber. And the whole point being is that we have 6 cages here, but we can scale this to 60, 600, 6,000, 600,000. It's a completely modulated, scalable technology that's fully automated. Insects themselves have multiple different flavours, but the ones that we're producing, black soldier flies, are very nutty, peanutty taste. It's just us in the West that hasn't quite got there yet. We will. It's coming, and we want to be at the front of this, this evolution of food again.
Bueno chicos, ¿cómo os habéis quedado? ¿Qué os ha parecido la idea? Y bueno, la idea es que esto va a ser el futuro, o sea, os guste o no, esto va a ser el futuro. Pero yo debo admitir que está muy bien, porque en un reducido espacio, muy reducido, estás consiguiendo alimento y fertilizante, que es genial, o sea, eso lo puedes cultivar en medio de la ciudad. De hecho, esta granja de insectos está en Londres, en la mitad de Londres. No necesitas de un territorio de muchas tierras para atender al ganado o tal, no. Una habitación con diferentes cajas, diferentes cápsulas y ya está, y ahí lo creas todo. ¿Qué opináis? Dejadme en los comentarios. Da un poquito de asquito, pero bueno, yo me imagino que todo es acostumbrarse. Bueno, espero que os haya parecido interesante y nos vemos en el próximo episodio. Hasta luego.